Today on the Commanders Report mailbag, I'm answering your questions on the burgundy and gold. Can't wait to see what you guys got for me. Now that mandatory minicamp has come and gone and the dog days of summer are finally here, unfortunately, for the NFL season. So before we get into it here, we are the most interactive Commanders fan community here on YouTube, okay? We have these weekly live shows here where we answer your questions on these mailbags. I really do appreciate everybody that shows up every single week. Make sure you click that subscribe button and join us 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week where we have these live shows and we have a good time talking Commanders football. Okay, now let's get into this first question here. Coming to us from Eugene, says, are there any undrafted free agents who impressed you during minicamp and could potentially make the final roster? Not really, honestly. I like Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint, the wide receiver from Georgia. I think he's really interesting. But I'm just not sure if there's any room for him in the wide receiver room this year. And that's unfortunate because I think that he's made some nice catches and he's made some splashes, but he's going to have to really make an impact in the preseason and in camp to justify keeping him on the final roster. So I'll say keep your eye on him. You know, Owens, the safety that they brought in, is interesting too. Maybe a special teams role for him. So I guess we'll see what happens here. But at the end of the day, they're undrafted free agents for a reason. Wouldn't really expect many to be big contributors. Then we got one from JG. What's up, JG? Says, who do you think will have a better defensive year? Mike Sainristil or Quan Martin? Quan Martin's looked really good in OTAs and in the mandatory minicamp, but Sainristil's looked really good too. I'm going to go with Sainristil because I think he's going to be on the field more. When the Commanders are in their base formation, I do think Jeremy Chin will play strong safety and Martin will be out. But Sainristil is definitely somebody that I'm interested in here. I think he's going to be excellent as a slot corner right away. If the outside cornerback position is bad enough, they might even try Sainristil on the outside, which I wouldn't. I think he'd be much better in the slot, but I guess you can try him out there. But I think Sainristil will probably make the bigger impact this year. Then we go on from Ron Rivera, says, with Amari Cooper sitting out Browns OTAs and mandatory minicamp, any shot the Commanders could trade for him? I would say it's highly doubtful. Our Browns host, Matthew Peterson, says that they're probably going to get a deal done before training camp. And even if they don't and they do trade him, I'm not even sure if Washington's going to want to go out and get him because he's going to cost a high draft pick because he's one of the best receivers in the game. And then also you're going to have to pay him a brand new contract. That's the reason why he's sitting out mandatory minicamp for the Browns this week because he wants a new deal. And he probably wants like $30 million a year because he is that good. So I don't think the Commanders are going to be willing to pay that. But let me know, would you trade a second-round pick and then pay Amari Cooper $30 million a year? Let me know. Type A if you'd accept that trade or type D if you would decline. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube is going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by giving me an A or a D down there in the comments. Let me on from Jasmine Gray. It says, who are going to start offensive tackle? My best guess at this point is Cornelius Lucas at left tackle and then Andrew Wiley at right tackle. They brought back Cornelius in free agency this year. They obviously did that for a reason. I don't think Brandon Coleman is going to be ready to play year one. He was pretty darn bad last year, and he was bad at the Senior Bowl this year, so I think he's going to need at least a year of development before he's ready. Might end up being a guard. And then Andrew Wiley, you're paying him too much money to sit his ass on the bench, all right? He gave up 9 sacks last year. He was not good. They should have replaced him with somebody this year. But at the end of the day here, man, it's not the best tackle duo in the world, but I do think it's what the Commanders have. Then we got one from Kurt Cobang. I like that name, Kurt. He says, do you think Quan Martin plays a major role on defense out of the gate? Depends what you mean by major. I think that he's going to be more of a rotational safety. I think Derek Forrest will be the starting free safety. He'll be there on every play. Jeremy Chin is going to be an every down player. He's going to be like playing strong safety, box safety in your base formations with 2 safeties. And then when you go to your 3 safety bandit package, I think that's when Quan Martin comes in to play strong safety. And Jeremy Chin is playing hybrid linebacker because he's bigger. He's known more as like a box safety, and he's a really good hybrid linebacker. So I think that Quan is going to have a role on this defense. I think he's going to play it extremely well. But is he going to be an every down starter? I don't know. Unless they move Mike Sainristil out to outside corner, I don't really see him on the field every single snap. Now, make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now if you haven't already for daily Commanders news and rumors videos. We have breaking news coverage every time the Commanders make a move. If they sign Stephon Gilmore or something, or David Bakhtiari or something like that, we will have a breaking news video for you guys here on the channel. Also, weekly live shows every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And oh yeah, it's all 100% free. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. And if you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button to never miss any of our videos. Then we got one from Jeff A. Yoda, who says, why is Stephon Gilmore not on this team? The best answer I can give you there, because it just makes too much sense for the Commanders to want him, right? He'd be the number one corner on this team. He'd be an excellent mentor to the young guys in the room. He's played in this defense, just last year, and he was their number one corner on a really good playoff team in the Dallas Cowboys. There's no reason why the Commanders wouldn't want him. But maybe Stephon Gilmore doesn't want to play for a rebuilding team. Maybe that's it. Maybe the Commanders didn't offer him enough money. I mean, those are really the only two things that it could be at this point, other than, Adam Peters just shoving his head up as where, and just kind of ignoring, a pretty obvious answer at the cornerback position in free agency. Then we go on from Jake Clowney. He says, will Jamin Davis have over or under 9.5 sacks this year? I want to say over for sure, man. I think Jamin is going to be moving into kind of like that Micah Parsons role in this defensive scheme. Now, nobody on the planet Earth is the physical specimen that is Micah Parsons, okay? But Jamin is pretty darn close. All right, he's a little bit lighter, but he's faster in the 10-yard split, and he's very explosive, and he's a great pass rusher. He's always has been. He's always been a great blitzer, even when he's played inside linebacker. And now he's getting the pretty much pass rush full time, and he's still going to be able to go out in coverage at times. He's going to be really good in that role. I think that in this system, that's going to create a lot of opportunities for him, one-on-one opportunities. I think that he absolutely could get up to double-digit sacks this year. Now, let me know down there in the comments section, over or under 9.5 sacks for Jamin Davis this year. Type O if you think over, or type U if you think under. We got one from Derek Perry. What's up, Derek? Says that picture of Forbes is a CGI. He's not that small. He's small. There are multiple photos from the Commanders team, not just, social media, from the Commanders team with him in full uniform at practice, standing like Benjamin St. Just, and he looks tiny. All right, and, the Photoshop one is the one with the pretzel legs. That's not the Photoshopped one. He is that skinny. He is 170 pounds. And listen, Derek, I want Emmanuel Forbes to be really good. I do. I was relatively high on him coming out of school. I would have rather have taken Christian Gonzalez because he didn't have the size concerns. But Forbes, he's got great ball skills. There's a reason why he had all those pick sixes at Mississippi State. He's aggressive. From a play style perspective, he fits this defensive scheme. But I do think because of that lack of size and strength, it limits the amount of type of receivers he can line up against. So he can't be a true number one until he puts on that weight. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I'm definitely concerned about Forbes' weight at this point. Then we got one from Paulie. Says, is there any shot CeeDee Lamb sits out the season for the Cowboys if he doesn't get the contract he wants? Is it impossible? No. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, he's still young. For me, he was the offensive player of the year, and that pains me to say it because I freaking hate the Cowboys, but he was awesome last year. I'd say it's greatly unlikely, man. I think that he's going to get a contract. I don't know if he's going to get up to where Justin Jefferson got at $35 million, but I have a pretty good feeling he's going to get up to at least $32.5. I think they'll get a deal done, and no matter what, I think he will be wearing a Commanders or a Cowboys uniform this year. So predict it for me down there in the comments. Will the Cowboys win the division again this year? Give me a yes or a no. Let me know down there in the comments section. Keep in mind, how long has it been, Coop, since 2004, since there's been a repeat champion in this division? So I think Eagles fans are kind of chomping at the bit at that opportunity because the Commanders are still rebuilding and the Giants suck. So I think the Eagles are like, it's our year, but I guess we'll see Let me know. Cowboys winning the division, yes or no? I'm going to say no to this. I think that Mike Zimmer defense is going to disappoint. All right, give me a subscribe right now if you haven't already, guys. Really do appreciate your support. We got more Commanders content coming your way here all throughout the offseason. Bunch of fun videos coming your way. So if you want the most latest and up-to-date premium Commanders content here on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now.